And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara podcast. Here's Jeff.
My guests are Nicky Alan, also known as Britain's best psychic, who has achieved a very high profile in the spiritual industry as a full-time psychic medium, spiritual teacher, writer, and angel expert. And we have Dani Henderson, alien and paranormal experiencer, British broadcaster, and founder of the Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection. Ladies, it's great to have you back. Welcome.
Hi there. So good to see you, mate. I'm so proud of you. Your channel has grown so much in the last 3 years since I was pretty much last on. First time to now, it's like 2 or 3 years ago. You've done so well. I'm really proud of you.
Well, thank you. And so has Nikki's channel grown. And look at her. She's got a YouTube silver button behind her. Congratulations.
Yeah, but darlings, do you know, this is the weirdest thing. There's almost like a karmic circle of reality here, because it's down to yous two why I have got that. Remember the story? I've shared this with you before, Jeff, and Dani knows it. I went down on the beach and had a bit of a word with the angel realms because I couldn't afford to even get my dog's ashes placed in a urn. I couldn't afford it. And I just went down and said, I think you are basically having a bit of a laugh because I need some pentacles in, I need some money in, and I think you've forgotten about the base chakra stuff going on here. Can you please help me? Because I've been working very hard and nobody's listening to me, nothing's happening. Within 2 days, Dani phones me and asked me to go to Florida. Within 4 days, you phoned me. And then I had other people phone me to say, or not phone me, but email me to say, can you come on my channel? So my heartfelt thanks to both of you, because you got me on the map. It's as simple as that. No matter how much I tirelessly worked, you were angel delivered. So thank you. And we're now together in this triangle of energy, which is wonderful.
Well, I always love having you, and you're blowing up everywhere because I see you on other people's channels and YouTube and other platforms. And the only thing left I think you need is a royal warrant of appointment.
I'm working on it, love. I'm working on it.
Good. Dame Nicky Alan, please.
There you go.
Watch this space, darlings. Just watch this space.
You never know. You manifest these things.
It's possible.
I manifested yous too.
Exactly. Yeah,
Look where we are now. Look what we're doing, where we're
Mm-hmm.
going. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's the age of the collective and we're smashing it, which is what it's all about. So happy days.
Well, while we're on the subject of royalty, as you probably know, Prince Harry was back in England meeting with the king. What do you see with that relationship coming in the future?
Well, Prince William's
What's that, Dan?
William's got the right arm, which is a British term for he's very upset that his brother's trying to wheedle his way back into daddy's good books after so many years of, faffing around in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I did a prediction about this a couple of years ago because I kept seeing him and Meghan, and it just wasn't great. And I could see they were doing, and I thought, this is ridiculous. This can't be happening. I saw reality TV and all this real low, D-lister kind of stuff they were going to do. I saw that. Then I saw that she could be quite a narcissistic energy around Harry, and that she was kind of calling the shots. And I feel like she felt that she was going to be treated like a princess in the Buckingham realms, but her perhaps cultural belief systems of how she should be treated and how she believes she should be treated as an actress. I'm here now, I've arrived in the building, and they weren't impressed with that. And there was an immediate issue there and then. And I don't feel that the royal family are particularly happy with his choice, purely because of her energy and how she treats him and how she thinks she should be treated. She hasn't really, if we go back to the days of Sarah Ferguson and beautiful Diana, where they were very graceful and beautiful and eloquent, but they still had their own, issues, if you like, their own way of defending themselves and not towing the line as much. But she's done it, can I say, in a modern whatever way, and we don't hold down nicely to that in England, do we? And so I feel that, and as I said this a couple of years ago, I feel he's going to make some really stupid decisions, and it's going to wake him up to where he should be and what his roots are. I can't say if they're going to actually have a broken relationship, but there will be very small efforts to try and say, Daddy, can you forgive me? But it will take time. I don't feel it's yet. And I think you're absolutely right, Dan. I feel that William's going to be like, well, hang on a minute. I've been standing here towing the line. He hasn't. He's been acting like a spoilt brat and listening to his stupid wife. And I'm not calling her stupid. I'm just feeling the energy. And I think he's realising now that he's out on a limb, and all of this reality stuff and all the other stuff they've been trying to do hasn't quite paid off. And I feel that he realises he needs to perhaps step back into that sovereignty type energy. And this is exactly what I said a couple of years ago. So we'll watch it unfold, but it's going to be very slowly catchy monkey, because Charles won't be opening his arms too soon with this one. So I don't feel we'll see a lot of movement for a while with it, but he certainly is realising there's been ramifications of how he has portrayed himself publicly. And he realises, I think, that he hasn't actually respectfully carried out his moral and public obligations for the position that he was once given. So we'll see what happens with that. I've always said they won't last anyway, but we'll see what happens with that. Dan, do you feel anything else on that?
Well, I remember when they first got together, and I thought, that's a joke. There's absolutely no way. I didn't feel it. It didn't intuitively connect at all. But over the years, of course, she's tried to put forth a very gracious front. But the thing that she did, the British people, unfortunately, we're groomed and brainwashed to accept the royal family as part of our culture because they've been there for a very, very long time. And it's multi-generational, decades and decades of this royal family. So we grow up getting used to Prince William and Prince Harry, for example. I was also a nursery nurse and working in those aristocratic circles. This is very much my life at one point in my 20s when, these little boys were like 8 and 10 years old. When they made the Netflix video, when they'd already broken away from the royal family and they made that Netflix video, I forget what it was called. The mistake that Meghan made, the biggest mistake she made, because she insulted every British person by doing this dreadful, dreadful bow. And she went down so low. And at that point, because I don't care for the royal family, I don't think we need them, but I wouldn't want anything bad to happen. But when she did that and put it alongside medieval times, those, you go to the banquets and you see the horses jousting in America. It's an American theme dinner restaurant type thing. And she kind of compared the two. And at that point, when I watched her doing that, I'm like, oh, mate, you have really, really blown it. People will not be able to come back easily because I felt an energy in my body, but that's the program. You've got to be aware of the programs that we all have in us. And that was one. And I thought, oh, no, you should not have done that. So, and it's just been kind of slippery slopes for Megster ever since that moment.
Totally agree.
Well, I remember they pointed out Harry's face when she did that, and he didn't look very happy with it.
I bet his butt was clenching in that very moment. I mean, what can you do? You're being filmed and your wife is totally dishonouring every single curtsy that everyone does. But it is ridiculous. I'll tell you a quick story. I worked for an aristocratic family who were absolutely lovely. They were having Princess Margaret come to their house for the weekend. They invited me. Their baby was 6 months. In London, when you're a posh nanny, the children, they're called your charges. So my charge was 6 months old little girl. They had a butler, a cook. It was everything you can imagine back in the 1920s, except this was when I was in my 20s. So I said, oh, I'd love to, be there for the weekend when Princess Margaret's coming. And the lady of the house, who was the mother of the baby, she said, well, the only thing is, Dani, knowing how feisty I am, is you have to curtsy. And I said, curtsy? She said, yes, if you want to sit in the dining room with us and bring baby and dress her up and sit with everyone at this formal dinner, you have to curtsy. And I said to her, do you have to curtsy? She said, yes. I said, do you mean to tell me if you come out of your bathroom in your mansion and Princess Margaret's bobbing down the hallway that you have to curtsy? And I thought she was going to say, of course not. And she said, of course I do. And I said, oh my God. No, thank you. I'll have dinner with the baby and the butler and the cook in the kitchen. Anyway, and that was what I decided, even though I was told it was going to be something amazing and you could meet Princess Margaret. But I've never been fake. I've never been into celebrity. I don't care. And if I don't agree with a curtsying, bobbing, and I don't have to do it, I don't want to do it. I think it is a bit silly. But to my point, Meghan was out of order, given the position that she's been given as a once princess. That was very naughty of her. Into the broom cupboard with you, Meghan Markle.
Absolutely, very naughty girl. And the thing is, can you imagine doing a curtsy in your slippers and your nightie? Or your PJs? Sorry, you first.
Running downstairs in your knickers for a quick rich tea.
Or coming out of the bathroom and saying, I'll give that an hour if I was you. That curtsy.
Well, speaking of celebrities, there's an opportunity for people to meet Nicky and you, Dani, in person coming up very soon, right? And how does that happen?
Indeed, yes. It's at the greatest disclosure conference on the planet. It's Galactic Spiritual Informers. It is the greatest whistleblowers of every subject you can possibly imagine. It is incredible. And Nicky Alan has spoken at our last two. And also she's speaking at this one, of course, because she's Nicky Alan. And she does the beautiful angelic spiritual realm connection to everybody, because you have to have that beautiful spiritual connection. But one of the most exciting things that always happens at a Galactic Spiritual Informers event is we physically call in spacecraft, and we've done it and we've got footage. I can show it to you now. We are the only conference that physically brings in low flying spacecraft, and always we're joined by Earth Alliance white hats, and they're very advanced flying craft too. It's absolutely incredible. It's September 19th, so just over a week away. So everyone get your tickets, and if you can't come, you can live stream, and it's just galacticspiritualinformers.com. Do you want me to show you a little video?
I would, please.
We did this last year. This is a TR3B. This is a whole fleet that came in. Look at this. It was incredible. Then we did it in May, Jeff, just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We stood on that hill. There were over 2,000 people. We saw every kind of UFO you could possibly imagine. Look at these. The sky just lit up, Jeff. It was unbelievable.
Since I was a child, I have seen a portal, and it kind of looks like a whirling triangle, and then it opens out, and then angel frequency comes through. I used to see it as a kid, as a baby, and I've always seen it in my mind. And this is very much like the UFOs as well, because I stood by the side of the stage before anybody even got there. Elena was up on the stage, and I thought, right, I just want to create a portal with Archangel Raguel, Pale Blue, just to bring balance, because I'm going to be taking everybody up to show them what they are capable of, because society, religion and everything else palmed us into these little boxes of you don't know anything, and we're now opening up. And so as I stood there, I'm doing this, you can see me on the camera, I'm doing this, trying to open the portal, and I'm envisaging the funnel of energy coming out for Raguel to enter in. And as I'm doing it, Elena just had this big moment of having to take photographs of the empty space of the theatre we were in. And then she came up to me afterwards and said, "What is this, Nicky?" Right? She's French, by the way, if anybody doesn't know. And so I went, "You've got to be kidding me." And she had actually captured an angel portal on camera, pale blue, the same colour as Raguel, who I was invoking. So she was told to take that photo then and there. And then when I actually did my presentation, I opened an arc, an angel arc, so that everybody could, blend in with the angelic realm so that they could go up. And it comes up. The arc is actually shown on camera. And Dani came on stage after I'd done my presentation to surprise me. And I was thinking, wow, hang on a minute. This collective we've got going is creating magic. And then when you go, because when you're visualizing things and suddenly you see what you've been visualizing for years through your third eye, it's quite mind-blowing. So when I go to Eastbourne on the beach and see everybody standing there, there's an element of, in all of us, you think, am I going to see craft tonight? Because you see them, I've seen them in my third eye and different beings, but to actually physically see them in front of you. And when they turned up, it was, because we had 2 plane routes going across, right? So you could see the planes flashing and literally going in a line in and out from Gatwick. And basically, I thought, oh, they're planes. And then they turned up. And they were whizzing around completely opposite to the flight paths. We had a cigar-shaped one, this big sphere, and the TR3B, the triangular, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And do you know what really, really grates me is that I saw the footage. Obviously, Darren passed last year, so I couldn't make Denver, but I saw the footage of, you know, our Skywatch that time round. It is undeniable. So why is it that when we say to people, this is what's going to happen, this craft is going to turn up at this time on this date and you're going to see it, how is that not worldwide news? Yeah. How is it not worldwide news? And this is why we're doing these. This is why Dani has been given this massive impetus to push this, come what may, every single year. God bless her for doing it, to show people the reality of what's going on and the fact that if we do go, hey, publicly, they're like, oh no, we're going to put that one down as, oh, perhaps they're airplanes. It's just unbelievable. So the more we do this and the more people that share our videos, share our footage, come to the conferences and support this, the more people are going to understand the truth, which is what we're all about at this given moment. And incredibly, just this, you know, this again shows you the power of the collective. I'm doing a presentation, which I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I planned this. I don't plan it. They tell me what I'm going to do this time round. And then I end up taking everybody up in the collective to show their true origins, that we all have the ability to connect to our starseed origins, angelic, you know, origins, our ancestors. So they told me, right, this is what you're going to do. I'm like, okay. And this is information that was given to me 11 years ago, which I've written in my trilogy series, Earthwalkers, right? And it's turned out, I thought it was a really good story, but it's actually predictive prophecy material that I've put in there. So they said, tell the story that you've put in your second book. I'm like, okay. So then it turns out that I see a TikTok video of Elena, and she's talking about Genesis. And I'm like, hang on a minute, that's the beginning, isn't it? I'm doing the beginning as well. And it turns out that what she hasn't got time to cover, we're doing exactly the same story. We didn't even know. And what she hasn't had time to cover, her lovely lot up there in the star systems, was it Thorhan or was it
Yeah, it was.
Oh, was it Ea? Said, don't worry, it'll be covered, because I'm covering what she hasn't got time to cover in her presentation. And we didn't even know. So that just shows you that they're not my angels, but the angelic realms have obviously connected in the same frequencies as Elena's beautiful sources that she has, and have gone, right, this is what we're going to do. Elena will cover that bit, and then Nick will cover the rest of it. It's just, you couldn't make it up. So we're not only getting the UFOs coming over. I hate calling them UFOs. Of course, they're identified. They're identified as our star cousins that are just wondering why they're getting stupid people creating fear down here when all they're coming is with benevolence and wanting to help us. Anyway, I get on my soapbox about this now. And yet, on top of that, you get the synchronicities and the actual phenomena taking place in the place that you're at. We had this spirit lady at the theatre at Eastbourne, and we all stood there watching while we interacted with a flashing light in this side room. Yeah. And it was just, we're creating a massive hub of sentient, strong, solid energy as a group, and then we are literally pushing that out to the public. They're witnessing it, then they're taking it out to their people, and that's how we're going to change the trajectory of this planet. And it started with Dani Henderson, God bless her, and it will continue. It will continue. And you get the naysayers, you get all the other people trying to take a bite out of the truth seekers and the truth providers. They can crack on, because at the end of the day, we will bring this to the planet no matter what. It's that simple. And the way that all of the signs and the proof just keeps coming and coming and coming, we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. And I'm so honoured and proud to be part of it, I have to say. And I literally cried like a baby. The amount of love and respect and the fact that we were standing in our own truth on that stage at Eastbourne was just beyond anything I've ever experienced. I just cried like a baby. So I need to invest in a really good waterproof mascara.
Well, Dani, how is it possible that you can guarantee they're going to show up? Are you communicating with them or are one of your speakers?
Yeah, because we're connected. So Elena Danan and I have come from the same team off planet. And what's so beautiful is on the days when I think this is all crazy and nuts and nobody's believing anything and there's so many awful naysayers and people that don't want disclosure unless their name's on it or unless it's their conference, which is so ridiculous because disclosure is for everybody. I can't imagine one single person imagining that they are going to be the one. It's never going to be about a Godhead again. That system does not work on our planet. It's all of us unifying. Well, the last in Eastbourne, what we did was I had to put a request in via Elena Danan, who's connected to the Galactic Federation of Worlds. So I emailed her. And then she puts a request into Thorhan Aredian, her contact, who's a beautiful Pleiadian man who I've known for lifetimes, who came to my house physically, who I've known since I was a baby, who came to my house in Costa Rica and physically stood in my living room. And then this other beautiful being called Annex, who looks like he's the most beautiful shaped head, big navy blue indigo eyes, light brown skin, and the most a sixth density being of love emits such a frequency that it is overwhelming, Jeff. The love that you feel from them is just the deepest, most unconditional feeling. You can't even describe it. It's too difficult to describe. And when I saw Annex in my living room and he starts gliding over to me, because he doesn't walk, he kind of moves like he's in water. And I was so shocked. And then your memories go, oh my God, that was the being that put me back in my crib when I was 6 months old. And I put it in my book, Angels, Demons and Aliens, because these are the physical beings I've always been in touch with my whole life. I've had physical interactions with these beings. Getting back to the Galactic Federation of Worlds, this is a military faction off planet. It's not full of omnipresent spirits. And this is the definition, Jeff, that people don't always make clear. The ETs that we are connected to, which is why I can put a request to Elena, she puts a request to Thorhan, he then changes whatever I've written to binary code 010100100101, software language binary code. That goes to Jor-El. His name is Jor-El Astar. He is the High Admiral on this battleship where there's many, many different countries off planet, different worlds, different kind of species that look like me and you. They're real spider beings. They look like humans. They call themselves humans. They're not omnipresent spirits. They're real. If you shoot one, it's going to bleed. And then Jor-El received my request and I said, right, JP, our friend, he's going to be bringing spacecraft, but his contacts aren't Galactic Federation of Worlds. He's military. You had him on the other day. So he's got other contacts. So I didn't want all the pressure on JP, and I definitely had to make sure that I had at least 2 spacecraft, because I've been telling people for 1 year, you come to Eastbourne on May the 10th, 2025, 8 o'clock at night at the Wish Tower Hill, looking over the seafront, and you're going to see UFOs. I had to make sure that I was going to stand my ground and prove it. So that's why I put my request into the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Anyway, and information came back from Jor-El to Thorhan, then to Elena, and then to me. And the print, we've did a video on it, so we've showed the proof. The print, the message that came back was this really archaic writing to say that he was confirming 2 spacecraft for me. And so that's what happened. The first 2 spaceships that we saw in Eastbourne were the ones that I pulled in, and they were over the horizon for bloody ages. I was thinking, oh my gosh, please can you fly over? But here's the thing again with proof. The Galactic Federation of Worlds have an agreement with the Good Earth military, the White Hats, the Earth Alliance. And so they follow protocol. Even though they're ETs, they're going to be mindful and respectful. Anyway, so that day, someone at the base, which at first I had no idea where the military craft came from, because a huge military craft flew over, a TR-9, a huge triangular craft that the military deny having, and it's a stealth craft, and it's a triangular craft. So it's a massive upgrade from the regular TR3B that we had.
Oh, it was an upgrade.
Yeah, it's an upgrade that we had fly over on September 27th, 2024 in Denver, Colorado, Westminster, Colorado.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just incredible, Jeff, that we are able to do this. And that's why, because we are physically in contact with these beautiful, benevolent ETs.
Can I just say, Dani, as well, this is just so juicy and sexy, right? When the craft, because I sense them, I couldn't believe I could do it. I've learned and developed so much in the way of this star energy, because I knew they were standing on the horizon, and I was standing next to JP on the beach, which is lovely because it's very muscly, and I thought I'd hold on just to make sure I was safe. And I went...
And she fell off.
And I thought, I can sense them. I went, are they at the horizon? And as I said that, boof, boof, there was these two lights. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is the beauty of it though, is that they were waiting over France, right? So they were standing waiting for the protocol and the permission to come over. Incredibly, a dog walker in France saw them above her. And so, you know, you can't make that sort of thing up, can you? That someone in France is standing there looking up thinking, I've seen these craft, and we're seeing them from England sitting on the horizon across the channel. And the thing is that with the presentation I'm doing, which is very similar to Elaine, as I've already said, it's the perception of the public that all of these, I don't even know how to describe the people that have created these belief systems. They create these belief systems of our star friends and angels. So for instance, if someone says, oh, there's an angel or there's Virgin Mary, everybody goes, oh. But as soon as there's an alien, you'll see in the first paragraph, abduction, world takeover, attack, you know, and they've literally put us into this, well, not us, the sheeple, I call the sheeple that like the 3D people, that they've put them into this fear capsule of they're here to take over the world, they're here to invade, they're here to do this. And that's what we need to change. Because as a kid, I used to sit in the arms of these beings by waterfalls, which I've now learnt where that is. And I just don't know why we immediately try and create this alert system. They don't want them here. The people that don't want them here don't want them here because they're going to show us so much in technology, health, and they can't control us anymore. And so it really is something that I'm so passionate about, being part of this, because you truly, you know, all these people that say, oh, it's a load of rubbish, come and watch it, come and witness it, come and see it, because then you will be sitting in exactly the same space as I am and all the others that attend the GSIT conferences and the speakers, because you'll know it's as real as us sitting here now doing this. Yeah. It's just mind-blowing. I have just been, and I've seen a lot in my life since I was a kid, but now my mind is blown. It just gets bigger and bigger, and literally to stand and see a craft whiz around for us.
Yeah.
I can't understand what, you know, I can't understand why it wasn't on world news. Of course it isn't, but that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for to make this, they're friendly, they're benevolent, they're part of us, they're part of our origins, get over it and let's get on with it. Yeah. That's what I stand for.
Some people believe that the Earth is the prison of the galaxy and we're forced into reincarnation over and over again. Do you find any truth in that?
Absolutely not. And I know that there's a lot of people that have spoken of this. I don't know because I don't watch them, but people have reported back. And I can't say if I'm wrong or right or they're wrong or right. However, I try to create safety, love, honesty, truth, and support for humanity that aren't quite getting it, that they are connected to a force that's so magnificent. So by pushing or peddling or whatever you want to call it, this concept that don't go to the lights, you'll get kidnapped, don't do this, don't do that, you know, we're stuck in this loop of you being reincarnated. I feel that I'm instilling fear. It could be that it happens, but I've seen no evidence of that. I've seen no evidence of anybody being trapped in a reincarnation spin. But that's my perspective. That's from my experience. And I've seen a lot, believe me, in this life, concerning everything that's out of this world. And I don't hold to that. I just feel that it's another fear instigating phenomena that's been thrown in for the sheeple to sway even more further away from the truth of what we're trying to show. At the end of the day, there could very well be something like that, but I have not experienced anything like that, and I don't stand by. I stand by trying to bring comfort from levels of the afterlife to when we pass over, to our benevolent star cousins, to the angelic realms. I try and push everything that's positive and not instill fear and possible darkness into something that I really haven't had any experience of. So I can only express what I know and what I've been shown and what I am told to teach humanity. And part of that has not come into my consciousness. Nobody's dealt with it. I have asked about it before, and I just got to stand off, forget it, carry on with what you're doing. I'm like, okay. And that's my perspective.
Well, there's many different things to say there, but one of the things is it's so important to bring evidence and to say about when the craft were coming over, and we want to prove to obviously the public that this is something that's actually happened. When the military craft, the triangular craft, flew over that we all saw, and we wondered, where did that come from? We didn't know. And then out of the blue, I get a message from somebody who says, a friend of mine says, I need to meet you with this friend I know. She's got something to tell you, but she's only going to tell you in person. I'm like, oh, that's intriguing. So we met in Brighton. I met this lovely girl, and she said to me, I know where the craft came from. The military craft. I'm like, oh my God, which base? Because in Britain, they're called RAF bases, Royal Air Force bases. And I said, where did it come from? She said it came out of a Royal Air Force base called Lakenheath, RAF Lakenheath. And they recently have been in the news before with tons and tons of drone activity. It's a really active military base. Somebody in that base wanted to get the information to me that it was from that base. Here's another thing, more proof. 1 second, Mickey, please. But don't forget your thought, because it's so important to bring all the evidence. When it came out, the part of the report I got was the fact that that night, May 10th, 2025, a ton of personnel were given the night off, and they weren't told why. And some of them were in panic thinking, my God, something really big is going to go down. Yes. It was because not everybody is read in to the fact that the Good Earth military are working with the Good ETs, which is the Galactic Federation of Worlds, not the Galactic Federation of Light, which is the PSYOP. That's the fake New Age one. The Galactic Federation of Worlds is the military one that's here to support with our Earth military. So anyone that's in fear of the world being taken over, fear not, love beloveds, fear not, because we are such beautiful, loving beings, and what we have to do is the reincarnation trap theory and all of that, not be scared of that. There have been people that have been trying to take over the planet and run it and take nature away and poison the earth and poison the food and poison the skies and all of that. Yes, that's absolutely going on. But we have to accept and recognize that these Muppets, the self-appointed, self-anointed, they lost. They lost. And we're witnessing the old guard coming down. And that is why everyone is seeing more and more now, because the ties that bound the black magic, the occult magic that was here on the planet, there were grey aliens, there were reptilians, Draco and Sakaar to be specific, they were working in hand with the satanic occult, which is what so many of the leaders, self-appointed, self-anointed, follow. But anyway, I don't want to get too much into that. The fact is, to answer the question about the reincarnation loop, we are free and we are proving it, and humanity is rising. This is the science of consciousness. This is the soul's evolution inside each independent person. We are magical, amazing, beautiful beings. And what Nicky Alan and I do in particular is bring evidence of that in many different ways, whether it's a 3D story, whether it's a multi-dimensional proof. Like Nicky, at the last event, you brought everyone together, a mass meditation where we all linked together energetically, and it just lifted. The love you feel at a JISIC, when the JISIC family comes together, people fall in love at my conferences, they get married, they make friendships, they're all in WhatsApp groups, they're traveling the world, they're all meeting each other. It is the unification of beloved souls, Jeff. It is the most magnificent thing ever.
But can I just say, I don't know if you know about this, Dani, and I might have dropped a bit of a bomb here by not, dropped the ball, should I say, not telling you about this. Did you know that there was a huge crop circle that was created right next to the base at the same time? Because I got a photograph sent to me from one of the G6 attendees.
No, I didn't know that.
It was a huge, it's like an acre large crop circle emerged that night right next to the base. And I'll have to find it for you. I thought you knew about it, and I thought they would have sent it to you and then just sent it to me as a secondary thing.
No,
Yeah.
I often get hacks because they don't.
Yeah.
People stop me meeting people and connecting because they want me to shut down. They don't want me to do what I'm doing.
I'll look for it for you. But just to add to that, you know, I don't want to get too dark, but when you talk about the occult and the black magic and things like that, and that's when people go, oh, here we go. But we've got the victims of it that come on and speak out about it.
Exactly.
So it's not like we're all just talking about it and making it up and this is what we think and we might have got it in a meditation. We've got the physical people that have actually physically been there. JP has physically gone to other planets. These people are physical witnesses to what they actually talk about. It's just insane. It's incredible. And then if we go back to the beginning, when I was saying, you know, oh God, well, I see this, I feel it, I see the synchronicity, I create it, I do this. But for me to then start actually now recording it and everybody seeing it, like the portal and the ark, I'm like, get in there. We're just getting stronger and stronger. I absolutely love it. So yeah, they are very friendly. They're beautiful. I love them. They're just as friendly and full of love as angels. It's just the perception that has been hammered in to humankind about what's good and what's bad. That's the problem we've got at the moment, but we're winning it. The yin and yang is establishing and the darkness isn't working. So crack on and carry on if you want to.
Totally. And what did that beautiful image, what was the crop circle? What was the image?
It looked a bit like a mandala or a cog in a wheel. I'll find it for you because I can't remember what happened at the time, and I don't think I really, you know, embraced it. I don't know if it was a bad time because of Darren passing, and I just went, oh yeah, that's lovely, thank you. It didn't, and because I didn't know about you saying about the RAF base. Yeah, I didn't even take it on board, but now you've just said that. That's where the crop circle was.
Nikki is a bloody nightmare in the best way because I said to her, oh my God, have you seen the speaker lineup? It's like Daniel Brinkley. He's sold over 30 million books. This man has brought evidence that there is no such thing as death. He's been known forever. He's been on Oprah. He's been on Ellen. He's been everywhere. This man, he's speaking at our conference. He's bringing the science of consciousness and all the near-death experiences that he's had. He is incredible. And I'm saying, and Max Lowen, who's just a high bloodline satanic child who's bringing evidence of what that is, and all these incredible Kathy O'Brien and Nikki's like, who's that? Who's that? I'm like, for God's sake, you have got to start watching my broadcasts on my channel so that you know who your fellow speakers are, Nikki.
No, but the problem
influence. I know, I respect it. I do. That's just the way you work, and it's beautiful.
And I hate that because I really do want to watch these people. But what I don't want to do is sit in that energy, wait for downloads and information, and think, hang on a minute, did someone else mention that or say it? You know, for instance, with Elena. Seeing that video, and I'm like, she's doing exactly what I'm doing. Even the images are the same. Obviously, hers are a lot more posher than mine, but it's like she's talking of the tree of life and DNA structures, and I'm like, whoa! And Adam and Eve. It's just it's just mind blowing. I absolutely love every bit of it, and this is what it's all about. And it's just, and everybody, you know, the more the collective gets stronger in this age of Aquarius, you're just going to see more and more. We're going to see more celestial sightings of angels. We've already started it. They already told me they're going to start creating these abnormal kind of rainbow hues that aren't normal rainbows. So I put that out and literally got hundreds of photographs of people saying, what is this? What's that? And I said, I'm told you, it's what they're telling you. Celestial arcs, they're starting to create those. We're going to get to see more UFOs. It's literally showing the reality of our planet. And all of the people that have been trying to control us and kick back against it, they're like, scared. They're sitting there thinking, what else can we do to try and bring fear into the people that aren't open to this, the sheeple, because it's happening now, you know. And I remember now and then I see like flashes of this is coming, that's coming. It's not coming, it's here now. Yeah. The transitional stage of our planet, and this is why we're seeing, and I've been predicting this for months and months and months, is this boiling point. It's like if you look at the Earth at the moment, it's like a volcano, right? And the magma fields are also really intensified at the moment anyway. But what's happening is you've got all the Lemurian frequencies, the Atlantean frequencies, and all these kind of frequencies I didn't even know about. But they literally are starting to resonate with the Schumann resonance, which years ago, oh, that doesn't exist. You're a tree hugger. Go away and smoke a spliff. And go away and smoke a whatever. And now that, oh, we can actually measure that. Oh, it's real then, you know, for the people that are following, or the people that tell you what is and what isn't. And it's all resonating together. It's literally powering up all of our crystals from Mother Gaia. It's creating all of these very, very old portals to reactivate. Not only is it doing that, it's also creating a DNA structure within us from way back in the beginning to reignite with the pineal gland as well, to be open to other planets, other beings. And this is what the people who are trying to control us really fear, you see. And it's beautiful because they're bringing us back like a huge karmic circle back to the beginning. And the problem with that is, with everything that's gone wrong over the decades, the centuries, you know, millennia, the seismic shifts are having to shift the planet, the polarity. And with these shifts to get us back to that proper yin and yang, this is why we're seeing the flooding, the volcanoes, the earthquakes on a massive scale, and it's going to continue for a while. We're going to have an element of chaos, and including that, the people are starting to awaken to this new frequency that's hit us, are now getting rebellious. So we're seeing the age of rebellion. And so there's going to be so much civil unrest. Again, I predict this before it even started. I could see this civil unrest bubbling away, where people literally are going to start fighting in their thousands. And we've just recently seen, you know, 70-year-old, 75, 80-year-old pensioners being arrested as terrorists because they're standing up in the streets in England. They were arrested yesterday. 900 people arrested over the weekend. And these are OAPs just standing up for peace. And they were arresting people in their wheelchairs. And you're like, this is what I've been seeing. But it's happening all over. Then we've had this assassination, which I saw, but I didn't quite know who it was, unfortunately. They didn't show me who it was, of, what's his name? See, I don't know. Just someone said someone's been assassinated in America, and I don't even know his name.
It's Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk, thank you. God bless you, Charlie. Sorry for what's happened to you. But there's just going to be a big upheaval. And the analogy that one of my main guides, Juliana, said was, it's like there's a thorn in the side of the planet. And it's been sitting there for a very long time, festering and creating nothing but poison. And we've now pulled that out. And the problem is we've got a gaping wound that needs to be healed. And that's going to take some doing. And so everything that's on this massive discourse, the underbelly of everything that has been wrong on this planet, is being exposed as we heal this thorn that's been taken out. And so that's why we're seeing all these people being exposed. And it's going to continue. Celebrities, various underground activities that nobody really likes to talk about. It's all going to be in your face. And the thing with this is, you know, possibly I see the media are going to hype this up again to create fear. It's not safe, but don't worry, we've got you, you know. And so the beauty of it is that it's all going towards healing that gaping wound, and that's what we're going towards. And so people that need to raise themselves above the fear, they need to open their energies to being the most highest vibration they can, joining as a collective and sending love to war zones, sending love to whatever the problem is on the planet, rather than invest in the violence or invest in the politicians or invest in, you know, that they need to invest in love and sending safety, comfort. Because what we've forgotten is we are so powerful. People are quite happy to click their TV on with a remote control. They're quite happy to flick a switch on, microwave, TV waves, radio waves, that they take those for granted. But lots of people have been trained over the millennia to not realise that they can transmit their own frequency. They can transmit their own energy. You know, our lovely star cousins can manipulate and create things through just mind. They've shown me it. And then I speak to people like Elena and JP, and they go, yeah, that's right. So everything I've been shown throughout my whole life, that's been corroborated by them. And so all they want us to do is rise to this telepathic ability to be able to send love, be able to send energy, but we've been told we can't. We're just little ants stuck in a matrix, and we're going to be reincarnated in this hell forever and ever. That's what they want you to believe, because you go, oh, okay, we're just ants and we're just dying, that's it. If we start opening up to this consciousness, start connecting in the same frequency as the collective of all the others that get it, we're going to be a powerhouse, and we'll be at peace, and there will be no more war. That there will be, but it won't be as catastrophic as it is. People won't allow it, and the new leaders of tomorrow are the sons and the daughters of those that are raised their vibration, so they won't put up with the moral compromises that most will do for money or power. They won't stand for that. So our new leaders will be there with this moral soul, beautiful multiversal compass that creates a better planet for all of us. And I hope we start, well, we already are seeing it. We already are seeing it. But that's where we're going. That's where we're aiming. But if we stumble on the way during the chaos, it's going to take longer. I cannot tell you, Jeff, how many people email me every day in their hundreds saying, oh, I'm so scared. There's going to be World War III. There's going to be this. There's going to be that. We're all going to die. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. It's like, you've got to rise above the noise. Rise above the noise. Get in nature. Meditate. Send love. Be love. Get rid of negative people in your life. Use crystals, breath work, whatever it is to get you in a space of, I am not going to embrace this. Yeah. I'm going to rise above it. And that's a message for everybody watching this. Rise above the noise. Please rise above the propaganda and the noise, and just be love. And that will get us there so much quicker.
What have y'all seen about Threeey Atlas?
I know exactly what that is. So there are these beautiful ancient beings. They're plasma beings, and they're known as the explorers. And they're very, very ancient, and they travel through many of the different solar systems and universes, of which we know there are many, numerous, countless to infinity, ad nauseum. So what this is at different times with different spacefaring civilizations on different planets that obviously exist, sometimes ETs will use an asteroid and hollow it out and fit it out and use it as a regular spaceship. It's camouflaged. This is old news upstairs in space, but obviously to some of the, humanity here, it's because we're not yet given all the information that we should. So this craft is an asteroid with internal old spaceship mechanisms that is inhabited by this beautiful plasma being that is known as an explorer. It is completely benign. But it is also the start of absolute disclosure. We knew it was coming. We've been saying for a long time, the beings are going to start showing themselves. You got all these daft banana brains everywhere going, oh my God, they're going to attack. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sit down, have a cup of tea, leave it to the grown-ups, please. The Threeey Atlas is an asteroid, an internal spaceship mechanism that is switched off, and the being that's lighting up is a live, beautiful plasma being. And as it's gently coming through each and passing by each planet, Jeff, it's taking data, it's recording information. Imagine coming over Earth and looking at all the numpty brains down here and going, oh dear, we'll just pop along to the left. Let's go and see what's happening on Mars. And I know what's happening on Mars. There's a massive military base on Mars. It's known as Ares Prime. Yes, it is. And the global military know all about it, as do the governments. There are many people working on Mars, but NASA won't tell you. But we don't listen to NASA anymore because they've been very naughty. They had one job, Jeff. One job, and they failed. So anyway, we are now out there pushing forth all the information. So to those that were scared, don't be scared, darlings. The Threeey Atlas, whatever name you want to give it, that was spotted by the James Webb telescope. Well done, James Webb. It is a plasma, beautiful being, and we're going to see more of them coming through. There's a man on Earth. His name is David Adair. He's also known as Rocket Man. He spoke at my last conference last year. He built a rocket when he was 17 years old that challenged every rocket that NASA had. This is in the time of Werner von Braun, who came over from Germany with the other Nazis who were let off and didn't have to go through the Nuremberg trials. They should have done, but they didn't. And anyway, David Adair built this beautiful rocket and he launched it. And the American intelligence, NASA, they wanted that rocket. And David realized they were going to do naughty things with that rocket, and so he blew it up. At his time at the nuclear, the space station where he was, they wanted David, this brilliant 17-year-old boy at the time, he's now in his 70s, they wanted him to have a look at a craft they had recovered, a spacecraft. It wasn't very big. It would have fitted maybe one physical person or being in it. So he basically climbed inside this crashed craft, and there was an entity in there, a plasma beautiful being, that spoke to him and entered his body. And her name is Pithalum. And Pithalum exists with David Adair. And anyone can look him up. Go to my channel, Dani Henderson, Jissig, on YouTube. There are many different broadcasts with me and David sharing the information. The information and technology that David Adair has brought to this earth since, before, let alone at 17 being a genius, but since having Pithalum connect to his consciousness, David Adair has brought intelligence and technology beyond imagination, and much of it is sadly suppressed. But there you are. There's two examples of what the Threeey Atlas is.
And from an example from me, who's always worked in the angelic realms, the spirit world, in that kind of frequency, and obviously now it's shifting to a little bit into all of that. I really don't know a lot about, you know, what Dani talks about and what Elena talks about, but I'm learning it through my lot, bringing it in, and the synchronicities we've already spoken about. But this is interesting, right? Because a number of my followers on my YouTube channel said, "Oh, Nicky, what can you tell us about the Threeey Atlas or whatever it's called?" And I'm like, what are they talking about? Because I think I know all this stuff. Because, you know, because I'm with GSIC and I'm with all these beautiful world speakers, I haven't got a clue, because I will not taint my you know, channel, if you like, or my connection. And I really do want to start watching. So I thought, I haven't got a clue. So after I'd seen these questions, I sat there and I said, and I spoke to my guide, Julianus, and I said, right, what is this whatever they're talking about, Atlas? And he said, he always simplifies everything for me. I don't know how I'm doing this job, right? Because I'm so basic. I just keep it real. You know that, right? He said, let's just say it's like a Star Trek vessel, because it can connect with my memories and what I love. He said, let's just say it's a Star Trek vessel, but there's no people in it, and it's in a rock. So I'm thinking, I can't say that. I can't say that there's this invisible thing floating around inside a rock. That can't be right. Star Trek, you know, going beyond to discover new things and to take in all of data. And then I thought, I'm going to have to ask Elena, because I can't say that's what it is. And then when she explained it, I'm like, basically what you've just done so eloquently with all of the information and the history and David Adair, I just got, it's Star Trek, nobody in it, inside a rock. So, but it was still the same information.
Yeah.
You see, so if I had watched David Adair and someone had asked me that question, I'd be like, oh, I know that because David's told me. Can you see? But for me to be told that, and then when Elena gives me this beautifully detailed version of what it is, I'm like, it's Star Trek vessel without people in a rock. It's exactly what they just told me. And so that to me is such brilliant corroboration. It's the same. And I pointed this out last time. It isn't all just about GSIC. It's about the collective as a whole. We are connecting in with each other and we are sharing information. So it's like we're in different departments, but under the same roof. Mm-hmm. So I'm angel and spirit world and, you know, mindfulness and all that kind of consciousness department. Elena is this department, Dani's that department, but we're all getting the same stuff from different sources and it's all making sense together. It's like, I remember it's one of the most life-changing things ever, because when you work with your consciousness, many people, and my God, thousands of students, if I had a penny for everybody that said this question to me, I would have naked waiters now dropping grapes and Prosecco into my mouth right now, right? They say, how do you know if it's your ego or you're making it up, or it really is, you know, information from source? And it's a very valid question, because it's very difficult when you are developing your abilities, or even I doubt it now, you know, even sometimes I think, did I think that? Did I know it? That's why I will not listen to anybody else. And so we have to differentiate between ego and consciousness. Is it our thought? Is it our emotion? Is it our fear? Or is it a real message from source? So I remember being taken to this Atlantean frequency, right? And I went in there, and there were these pods. And these pods, this beautiful being said to me, this really like long-armed, long-limbed big being said to me, beautiful face, said to me, please come and have a look. This is where you once have been in, you know, been in this before. So I'm like, okay. So this pod, he said, you can literally go in there. You can go and look at your previous lives. You can tap into your soul connections. You can see your pivotal soul contract points. And he said, and also there's time shifts or timelines that can be changed. And so the first date that I saw in one of these time capsule displays inside the pod was 1940, right? So I've gone up to JP thinking, oh, he's going to think I'm a wannabe nutbag having a coffee. And I went, JP, can I just ask you a question? Sorry, I'm asking you a question, but I said, have you seen these pods before? He went, yeah, I've seen the pods, yeah. So I said, when you walk in, he goes, you're going to talk about the display dates, aren't you? I went, what? And he goes, what was the one on the left? 1940. And I went, oh, shut the front door. I said, how do you know that? He goes, because I've been there, I've seen it. And so I've been through it through consciousness, which is how they all communicate there. We are one of the most rarest people that just still, you know, physically be here and think it's just physical. It's all consciousness, energy, light, vibration, sound. And so I went, excuse me? And so, and he went, yeah, it's 1940, the first one, isn't it? And he goes, that's because they're significant. And then we got into it. And I just was still sitting there thinking, is he still talking? Because I'm so gobsmacked. Because he identified this room to an absolute T. The being that showed me it, he goes, yeah, I've been there, I've seen that. Did he look like this? I'm like, yes. And he just literally filled in what I saw in a meditation connection. So what, you know, you can't negate these sort of things, can you? I can't see these things that are given to me from source or from star beings, from angels, wherever they come from. And then someone else goes, yeah, I've been there. And then they describe what you've been seeing. It's just incredible. It's just, my mind, as I keep saying, my mind is blown every time I connect with these people. And that is our future. Everybody will be like us. In the future, we will be awake. Everybody will be awake. And this is the shift. This is the problem at the moment. It's like a tug of war going on, because the 3D people, which I call the people that aren't open to this, think we're all conspiracy theorists, think we're all nutters, tree huggers, and once you die, and there's nothing else anywhere else. We're the only planet, blah, 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 blah. You know, these people are being dragged kicking and screaming because they're being shown the reality, and then you just slowly see them hop over. And there's so many people that have joined on YouTube channel and things like that said, I just wasn't even open to this, but weird stuff has been happening. Excuse my French. Weird stuff has been happening to me. I'm seeing my grandma at the end of the bed. I'm sure I saw an alien being in my bedroom the other day. My son is telling me that he was my dad in a previous life, and it's freaking me out. Why am I seeing all this? Welcome to being awake, darling. Welcome from shifting from a lower dimension to a higher dimension, which is what this is all about at the moment. And so there are the ones that are floating over, definitely in their spikes. I've been told by Gabriel that you know, there's this great, and Uriel, that there's this massive spike of people suddenly remembering their past, remembering their origins, remembering their true power. And so even if we get just one person hopping over in a month, our work is done here. And that's what we're here for. We don't have to do this. Me and Dan don't have to do this. We've got enough going on that we don't have to do this, but it literally is part of our soul contract that we are down here now to guide the way through this transition and try and hold the hands of everybody that's in fear. That's what we've signed up for. And, you know, I'm not being funny, Jeff. I don't want to bring this up. I don't want to make this my story for the rest of my life. But, you know, losing Darren in such horrific ways last year under such traumatic circumstances, I should still be sitting under a duvet thinking, why have I had everything taken from me? You know, and really dealing with grief. But don't get me wrong, I am grieving and I do suffer very much. And I do have, a chronic illness with my ME and my chronic fatigue and everything. But there is nothing going to stop me from getting on this camera whenever I can to share my knowledge and continually link up and say, what do you want me to bring? What do you want me to say next? Nothing will stop me doing that, and nothing will stop Dani doing it. No matter what happens, you could come and bring me £30 million or dollars tomorrow and say, there you go, off you pop, go and buy an island, go and do what you want. Now, that's all right, you can go to charity. I will be here to the day that I pass up to the spirit world, and then whatever they want to do with me next. I've seen my next incarnation anyway. And so you literally, I don't know about you, Dan, but it's like a drug. You can't stop wanting to serve and help humanity. And sometimes we come across as perhaps over passionate, or we come across as quite aggressive, or we come across, but it's because we're like, please just stop judging, just dip your toe in and have a look. Have a look and see how it feels. Have a look when the synchronicities start and the signs start happening and you see figures walking through your door and you get feathers dropped on your head in your bed from nowhere, and you get everything plop into place as soon as you think it, that you can start manifesting in this quantum space your future, your home, your family, your soulmate, the love of your life. Literally, you can create your reality. And that's what we've been stopped from doing over the millennia of time. And we've been put in the witches box. And this is what my presentation and Elaine's is about. We've been put in the witches box. We've been put in the demon box. We've been put in the you're evil box. And na, 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 na. And it's like, really? Well, this box is open, everybody, and we're coming. So you just better hold on. You better, bury down those hatchets, because we're coming for you. And that's what's happening. And it's just a brilliant time to be on the planet. And so I'm just so excited about it. And every single photograph I get sent from people, I'm like, get in. People seeing their nan behind their grandson who passed 10 years ago and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I'm so excited. Can you tell?
Just a little bit. Yeah, and we're going to teach everybody at GISIC, everybody who comes in the audience, we're going to teach you how to pull in your own star families. We're going to teach you how to pull in the spacecraft for yourselves, while you're there, so that you can know how to do it. Because everybody's always asking, how do I do it? How do I link up? How do I connect? How do I? We're going to show you in a safe and loving environment. We're going to show you.
When do you think the ETs will just land their ship next to the London Eye or something and say, we're here and you're welcome to join the Galactic Federation and we'll have that Star Trek society?
Yeah, they've started doing it, but you've still got some numpty brains who want to shoot at them and capture them and study them because of their own, level of retardation, unfortunately. And the ETs are a lot smarter. They're in a higher density. They know exactly what we're doing. They're very telepathic. They're not going to fall for anything. But they really need for humanity to stop fighting. When we stop fighting, when we stop treating each other like garbage, this is one of the biggest things. This is why we got to all get together as a collective, raise frequency, have that unconditional love. I'm not talking about forgiving everything and everybody, because we are in a war. It is a war, good against bad, evil against good, and good wins and love wins, and it always does. But we're still in a bit of a battle that's going on a little bit, here and there. And we've seen it, and we've all grown up with it. And again, it's decades and decades of programming and societal and generational. It's generational. But at this time now, the thing is, every single year at our conferences, without fail, not only do we bring the spacecraft, the ETs are in the audience. They are so easy to spot now. And there are people every single conference going, oh my God, look, I saw one. And they're sitting there telling their stories, and the ETs are a lot more confident. We've got military personnel that come. They're all there. They're all in the audience. They've already started. They're safe with us because the audience is so intelligent. The audience that comes to Agistic is so brilliant. They're so open, they're so ready, they're hungry, and many of them have their own experiences. And part of the weekend, part of the 3 days on the 19th, 20th, and 21st September, Charlotte, North Carolina, next week, literally, we're going to have a sharing session where the audience can actually share their stories, because there are so many special, powerful people coming together. And these are the people that raise consciousness, raise frequency, bring their physical evidence. For Agistic, one of the main things that we do is we bring evidence, because anybody can come on your channel and tell a story. But where's the physical evidence? This is what people need, like the landing. That's why, Jeff, we bring the physical proof. We bring the spacecraft. We bring the plasma beings, the orbs, the cigar shapes, the scout ships, the motherships. We bring it all, Jeff. We bring it all.
And the thing, so from a perspective of mine, obviously, you know, I've seen it all consciously. I have seen craft as I've grown up, but when you're there, you know, because everybody, the people that aren't open to this, you know, think we're the tinfoil hat brigade that have got aliens speaking through the telly. You know, that's how they view us. But you're absolutely right, Dan, is that they will literally shoot them down. And so all we're going to do is create fear and panic. If a spaceship landed by the Millennium Wheel in London right now, can you imagine? There'll be looting, rioting, everybody be going mental, because all they'll think of is Armageddon, Judgment Day. You know, they'll be thinking of all the horrors of these, you know, what is it, the War of the Worlds. That's what that is the first thing they're going to think of. I remember, do you remember when you had the drones over in the US, right? And I remember someone saying, oh, have you seen about the drones? Have you seen about the drones, right? And so literally in the first paragraph, there was kill, abduction, attack, world domination in the first paragraph, right? And so if any of them come down now, it would create absolute, literally physically, they're there. You see, most nights you'll see them. Most nights you'll see them. My friend was watching one that come and visit, because she's got like hybrid energy connected to one of the planets, and it just sat there, and she just filmed it and said, look at this. But if you put that out there, the people that know, like the people in GSIT, will go, wow, hello friend. And she was actually telepathically communicating with it, right? It startled her, but she started to do it. But if you put that out to the mainstream at the moment, it'll be like, oh, that's fake, that's been doctored, that's this, that's that. And so we need to get in the right state to receive and accept. And that's what's happening at the moment. So that when we've got the mainstream of us being open, welcome, and in peace, that's when they will be able to land. And we've even got people that have actually been there when aliens have been had postmortems and experimented on. And I cried. And these people have been witness to it. You know, they've stood there, and they don't have to lie about that. They've got all sorts of evidence anyway that they bring in. And you just think, like alien autopsy, what are we doing? We can't. What's happening is they can't be allowed to come down here at the moment, because all power would be lost, because there's no hierarchy, there's no demonization where they are, there's no you have to do this, you're in debt now, you're doing this, you have to take that, you have to do that. There's none of that there. And so we've still got a lot of developmental issues to arise and defeat, or no, to meet, so that we can get to that state where everybody's like, oh, that's chilled. Yeah, there's a spaceship come down. Great, welcome. Should we go for a beer? But instead it will be absolute mayhem. It will be absolute mayhem. Do you know, it'd be interesting to just do a survey of, say, 1,000 people, and just say, if a craft landed right now, how would you react? What would happen? And you can imagine now, you'd have the televisions going, please stay in your homes, it's dangerous, don't go out there, don't worry, we'll deal with it, and all that kind of stuff. And they're just sitting in their craft going, what's going on, guys? What's happening? You know,
so many working with the government, like really beautiful ETs, and most of them are Nordics. They look like me, tall, blonde, blue-eyed, and they're incredibly good-looking people. I'm not saying I am, of course. I'm just saying that, you know, Nordics, like Nikki too, you know, like Nikki too. And they are there. They have been working with the governments for many, many, many decades. And now that the negative ones have been moved out, have been removed, they are working, they are walking amongst us. And of course, will reveal themselves at the time. We see them on TV, but people don't always recognize them. So as well as like Nikki's obviously referring to like the mainstream that have been programmed and have been programmed to be scared.
Yeah.
But they are already here, and it is a beautiful time. It is a very real time. And, you know, like I say, everybody is invited to learn, come and see how to connect, come and see the craft on September 19th, 20th, and 21st.
What are y'all's YouTube channels so people can find out more about what you're up to, as well as your websites?
It's Dani Henderson, Dani Henderson, Jessic on YouTube, and you'll see me. And then the conference where everything you need is there. My videos are there off YouTube, everything. It's Galactic Spiritual Informers. That's all you need. GalacticSpiritualinformers.com. And then that's it. You can get your tickets to the conference there.
For me, YouTube channel, Nicky Alan, Psychic Medium. If you just type in Nicky Alan, it's ALAN, because I work in my dad's name in his memory. ALAN, literally chuck that in and you'll find me everywhere. I've also got Karma, which is KARMER, which is all of our crystals, spiritual gift fair as well, if you're interested in that. But if you look up Nicky Alan, I've got so many courses and all sorts of things that can help you if you want to embrace the transition or you're going through it, if you're becoming awake. And we're here to help, you know, and sometimes when I say, oh, come to my website, come to this, come to that, it doesn't feel right. But of course it is. We have to draw people in because we're just here to educate and help you understand what is going on the planet. And, you know, we haven't touched a lot on it, but they've literally, in the last year or so, upgraded me to these global predictions where I'm actually connecting with the planet's energy. And so that's why I meant by, you know, talking about the thorn. This is all going to be chaotic for a while, but we've just got to hang on in there. And so by looking at the videos that I do, as well as Dani, we give you the reality of it, but we also show you how to get through it and ways to, you know, embrace love, embrace development, embrace the way forward with no fear. And so we very much are bringing that love vibe in and showing you the truth of what's going on and helping you to understand there should be no fear.
Well, ladies, thank you both for coming back and being my guests again. And
thank you for having us,
darling. I'm looking forward for another one of your conferences, so that gives me an excuse to have you back again.
Indeed.
Excuse me, you can have me back, apart from a GSIC conference, young man.
All right. Then let's do it.
Thanks for having us, darling.
All right. Thank you both.
Bye, everyone. God bless. Thank you.
Thanks for watching the JeffMara podcast. I really appreciate you. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. And if you do, there are loyalty badges and other perks depending on your level of membership. All you need to do is click the join button underneath the video to find out more. Thank you for your support.